Welcome back to A Guiding Light 901 Online.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Today we're taking a deep dive into Overeaters Anonymous and specifically their A Guiding Light OA Daily Journal.
Okay,
We've got the journal right here with us
sounds good.
and some really fascinating notes about it.
Cool.
So we'll be looking at the tools it offers,
Right.
the OA philosophy in general, and of course the power of journaling.
That's a great combo.
Yeah, I think so too.
Putting it all together.
Yeah, definitely.
The structure of this journal is really fascinating
It is.
when you think about it in terms of the principles of OA.
You know, I was looking through it earlier,
Yeah.
and I really liked how each day has a whole entry
Oh, yeah.
with tons of space to write, you know?
Yeah. It encourages reflection for sure.
Which is something that's super important in recovery.
Absolutely. And that's completely intentional.
Yeah.
Daily reflection is at the heart of the 12 steps.
You know, speaking of the 12 steps,
Yeah.
for anyone listening who may not know much about OA, those 12 steps are kind of a guide for spiritual and personal growth.
Exactly.
It's like the foundation of the whole program
Yeah. And it looks like this journal is really designed to help people work through those steps.
in their daily lives.
Yeah.
And it also has inspirational quotes
I love
to kind of guide you along.
It's like having a sponsor or a wise friend right there with you every step of the way.
Yeah, there were so many good quotes
Oh, really?
that I wanted to point out. One that really stood out to me was, "Abstinence frees me to choose healthy foods, healthy friends, and healthy thoughts."
Well, that's a good one.
I thought so too. It's really about the whole picture, right?
Yeah, it's about way more than just the food itself.
Exactly.
OA has this holistic view, you know?
Yeah.
It's about changing your whole lifestyle, your mindset, your friends, your well-being overall.
And I think a lot of people don't understand what abstinence really means in OA.
Right. It's not just about never eating certain foods.
Yeah.
It's about breaking free from that cycle of compulsive overeating.
Taking back control, yeah.
Yeah, reclaiming your power over food.
There's another quote I really like.
Tell me.
"Isolation is the dark room where I develop my negatives."
Wow. That's powerful imagery.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It really shows how important connection is.
So true.
We need each other, you know?
Yeah, isolation can be really dangerous.
Yeah.
It leads to shame and secrecy.
And shame and secrecy often lead to more compulsive overeating.
Absolutely.
It's a vicious cycle.
And that's where the community aspect of OA is so important.
Yeah.
It gives you that sense of belonging, a safe space to share your struggles and your victories, without judgment.
Yeah, you don't have to go through it alone.
It's a powerful antidote to that isolation.
I think that's where the journal comes in so beautifully, too.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're not ready to go to a meeting,
Right.
it can still provide that sense of companionship.
In a way.
You're pouring your thoughts and feelings onto the page,
Yeah.
connecting with yourself, on a deeper level.
It's like having a conversation with your inner self,
Yeah, I like that.
but with the added benefit of seeing those thoughts and feelings written down, in front of you.
Yeah, it makes them more real.
It can be really illuminating.
Before we move on, I do want to mention that
Sure.
if anyone is interested in this journal, the OA Daily Journal is available on Amazon.
Okay.
It could be a really great tool on your recovery journey.
Yeah, for anyone who connects with the OA approach, it seems like a really good resource.
I agree. There's another quote I wanted to mention.
Go for it.
It says, "Before OA, I had a hole in my soul, not a whole soul."
Wow, that's deep.
I know. It really speaks to the impact that OA can have,
Yeah, it's about finding that wholeness within yourself.
Right.
And connecting to something bigger.
It's what they call a higher power in OA.
Yeah, that connection can be so powerful.
It can be a source of strength and guidance, especially when things are tough.
And the journal encourages you to explore that connection through writing.
It does, and it's amazing how these quotes all highlight different aspects of the OA program.
You're right.
It's like the journal is a little microcosm of the whole philosophy.
A distillation of their wisdom,
Yeah, encouraging people to reflect and grow.
Exactly.
And the beauty is you can revisit these quotes every day.
Yeah.
Let them sink in a little deeper each time.
That's a great point, like a pocket guide to OA almost.
Totally. And, that brings us to journaling itself.
Yeah.
It's been really popular lately for mental health.
For sure.
But what about in recovery?
Well, there's so much research on journaling
Yeah.
showing it can really help with emotions, self-awareness, and changing habits.
Right.
All super important for any addiction recovery.
Including food addiction.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you're writing it down, you're kind of forced to confront it, right?
Totally. It helps you see your triggers,
Yeah. Yeah.
and understand your patterns.
Your habits.
Yeah, and it gives you a safe space to work through those tough emotions.
And the notes we have about the journal actually say that it helps you document your journey in sobriety, gain motivation and inspiration from the journaling process, and foster a deeper connection with your higher power.
That sums it up pretty well.
It really does.
You're creating a record of your recovery.
Right.
And that can be so powerful.
You can look back and see how far you've come.
Yeah, especially on those tough days.
Like a reminder of your own strength.
Absolutely. And because it's specifically for OA,
Yeah.
it helps you connect with those principles, you know?
In a personal way.
Yeah, the prompts and the quotes are all about the 12 steps.
It's like having a built-in sponsor.
Kind of.
And speaking of sponsors, service is a huge part of OA.
Oh, yeah. The idea of helping others is essential for your own recovery.
And this journal even has a section about passing it on.
That's great.
I love that phrase.
Me too.
It encourages you to help others who are struggling.
Because we're not in this alone, right?
Exactly. There's a quote here that says, "To pass it on to others plays an important role and a vital part in our own recovery."
It's so true.
And it's not just about formal sponsorship.
Right.
You can share your story,
Just listen to someone.
offer support, you know?
Yeah, even the smallest things can make a huge difference.
It all comes back to connection and community.
Right. That's one of the best things about OA.
And the journal can bridge that gap.
Between your own journey and the community.
It can. And the journal also has a resources section.
Oh, that's important.
It lists hotlines, meeting info links to online communities.
It's like a guide to support.
Recovery is not a solo mission.
Nope, you don't have to do it alone.
Sometimes that first step of reaching out
Yeah.
is as simple as opening your journal and writing.
It could be the start of something big.
And as we're talking about resources and community,
Yeah.
I'm realizing this journal really captures the essence of OA.
I agree. It's more than just a journal.
It's a companion, a guide, a reflection of their values.
And then anyone can use it.
Exactly, whether you go to meetings or are just starting to think about recovery.
It's for anyone who wants to understand OA better.
Or even just explore journaling in general.
And if you want to get a copy of the OA Daily Journal,
Yeah.
you can find it on Amazon.
It's a fantastic resource. I really recommend it.
A powerful tool for recovery, for sure.
You know what strikes me?
What's that?
The journal really emphasizes the process.
Not the destination.
Yeah, because recovery isn't linear.
There are going to be ups and downs.
Setbacks, breakthroughs, all of that.
And the journal knows that.
It does.
It encourages you to embrace it all.
The messy parts, too.
The imperfections.
So it's not about being perfect. It's about progress.
Taking those little steps forward day by day.
And the journal helps you track that.
It's like a roadmap.
You've got the support of the OA community.
Wisdom of the 12 steps.
And now this journal to guide you.
And OA is entirely self-supporting.
That's amazing.
It relies on its members.
Showing the power of the program, for sure. And the journal reflects that, too.
I think so. It's not just a product.
It was created by people in recovery.
For people in recovery.
It makes it even more meaningful, you know?
It's like a shared legacy of recovery.
Yeah, passed down from one person to the next.
And this journal is part of that.
It's a reminder that recovery is possible.
With the right support.
And a whole community is there for you. It really is. And you know what's amazing to me is how the simple act of writing can be so powerful.
It really is. I mean, it seems so simple.
But there's something really profound about it, you know?
Putting pen to paper, just letting your thoughts flow.
Yeah, and I think it allows for a level of honesty
Yeah, vulnerability.
that can be hard to achieve otherwise.
When you're writing, you don't have to worry about being judged or, anything like that.
You're being yourself.
Expressing yourself authentically.
And I think in that space,
Yeah,
you can start to see things more clearly.
right. Uncover those insights.
About yourself, about food, about recovery.
It's like shining a light,
On those parts of yourself that you maybe haven't wanted to look at.
And sometimes just acknowledging those things is the first step.
Toward healing.
It's like giving yourself permission.
To be human, to be imperfect, you know?
And then journal can help with that.
It does. It provides a framework.
Yeah, for self-exploration.
It encourages you to ask those tough questions.
To really dig deep.
Into your motivations.
Yeah.
Your beliefs.
And as you work through that on the page,
Yeah.
you build resilience.
Your commitment to recovery grows.
It's like working a muscle,
Yeah.
The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
I love that. And I think it highlights the importance of consistency.
Yeah, showing up for yourself every day.
Even when it's hard.
Recovery is a marathon, not a sprint.
It really is. And the journal helps with that.
It encourages you to pace yourself.
To be patient.
Oh.
To celebrate those little wins.
And remember, everyone's journey is different.
There's no right or wrong way.
The important thing is finding what works for you.
And keeping moving forward.
One step at a time.
And if anyone listening is interested in the OA Daily Journal,
You can find it on Amazon.
I highly recommend checking it out.
It could be just the tool you need.
And as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave everyone with a thought.
Okay.
What is one small thing you can do for yourself today
Just one act of self-care, you know?
that nourishes you?
Maybe it's taking a walk,
Listening to music
spending time with someone you love,
doesn't have to be big, just something that reminds you.
that you are worthy of care,
And remember, recovery is a journey.
with challenges and triumphs.
You're not alone.
You have support,
You have strength.
and you have the power to create a life you love.
Thank you for joining us today on the Guiding Light 911 online podcast.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you found this deep dive helpful.
Remember, recovery is possible.
One day at a time.